Let's see here. Cold Wealth Sims asks if I can do a video on Master Wong's advice for women's self-defense. He wants to know if it works. He says, I mean, Master Wong is so crazy, I feel if he does it, of course it will work, but for women, will it work? Okay. Interesting question. So I haven't seen a lot of Master Wong's videos, but after you asked this question, I looked up a bunch of his women's self-defense videos, and they're notably different than his other videos. And I noticed that there's like this very specific pattern in almost all of them. It's like somebody grabs you or whatever, you do something to break the grip, and then you do this side kick to the guts and then run off. Like every one of those videos ended up with a side kick, which was interesting. It made me think of this Krav Maga channel I was looking at a while back, and they had a series of women's self-defense videos where all of them started with a kick to the groin and then a bunch of karate moves afterward, and I thought, you know, these are patterns, and I started looking at some other self-defense channels, and I noticed every self-defense guru has like their specific method of getting out of a bad situation, and they all start looking the same after a while. Like all the Master Wong's videos, do this, do that, break the grips, and then side kick, boom, and then run away. And the Krav Maga, you know, groin kick, do karate, run away. So, you know, Master Wong, I don't know how big he is, but he looks like a reasonably strong, athletic guy, and so if some schmuck who doesn't know how to fight comes out and grabs him, yeah, you're probably right, he probably could fight out of that situation. But yeah, a small, weak, unathletic, untrained woman, would she really be able to pull off those moves to disengage and then do that ninja side kick to the guts and then run off? That's doubtful. I don't know. You know, self-defense is a really complex issue. It really is. I've said it so many times, I'm not a self-defense instructor. I think self-defense is crap. I'm just going to say that. Self-defense is garbage. Why? Because we're trying to fix problems after they get really, really bad. It's too little and too late. Okay? And the overwhelming majority of self-defense videos that you're going to see on the internet deal with only one aspect of self-defense, fighting, violence. And there's so much more to it than that. I mean, every violent confrontation has at least 4 steps. We always think of fight and flight, but it's got at least 4 steps. Posturing, fighting, fleeing, and submission, or freezing. Okay? And in order to survive a violent altercation, you've got to excel at one of those 4 things. And if you do not or cannot excel at violence because you're outsized, outnumbered, outarmed, no number of fighting techniques that you learn off the web or even in person in a legitimate fighting school or whatever are going to save you. So, at the same time, a lot of people say, just run away. And that's pretty good advice, but what if they're faster? I mean, the whole reason I started learning how to fight in the first place is because I could not outrun the bullies at school. They were faster than me. I was a slowpoke. So I figured, man, can't run. I'm going to have to learn how to fight. This man, freezing up certainly didn't help me. And that last phase, submission, I'm not just talking about tapping out in like a jiu-jitsu contest. I mean, submission is a couple of things. Essentially, it's giving up. It's trying to find a way out of the fight in a non-violent way after you've exhausted all your other possibilities. I mean, any one of these steps can happen at any point. We could run before the fight even happens. We can start posturing even after we've started swinging the punches, although usually we posture beforehand. If you don't know what that is, that's, you know, just like sticking out your chest and taking off your shirt and showing your weapons, showing this other guy, I'm bigger and stronger than you and I can beat you, don't mess with me. It's bluffing, is what it is. Just like you bluff in poker to try to convince the other guy that your cards are better, and so he better give up, right? Same deal in a fight. So if you're really good at bluffing, well, you might be really good at self-defense, right? That is probably a more important skill set than fighting. right? So nobody's going to pay you to take damage in a self-defense situation. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Somebody pointed out in the comments, they said something like, I don't think Ramsey has had a fight as an adult. And a street fight, no, absolutely not, except for a couple of skirmishes with a couple of my college roommates back in the day. But yeah, all my fights were professional, man. All of my adult fights were professional, in the ring and in the cage. That's where they should be, right? If you're the one starting fights, stop it. Yeah, this is going on a little bit long, but yeah, pay attention to the other aspects of self-defense besides just the fighting, right? Great question.